We will get started. All right, perfect. Well, thank you guys for joining us on the call. I am fresh off of the New Leader Conference, which was so much fun. I was seriously like walking around LA in the grocery store, like tearing up. It was amazing to really be part of that and for it to be a smaller group. I mean, Summit, we have 25,000 people and there was a little bit less than 500 people, and everybody was around the same level-ish, probably like 2 to 5, 2 to 6 star. And, Beachbody just always really does an amazing job giving us the support that we need to make this business work for us. And, I always say it can always work for us however we want it to work for us in our lives. So I wanted to just touch base on a couple of things that I really took away from the conference. The very first thing was that we are, we're part of Julie Juarez's upline or downline, and it was very apparent to me that how unique that is. A lot of the coaches that I was meeting, they were, several levels down from their, from their star diamond, and people, they would say, "Oh, who are you? Who's your coach?" Julie Juarez, and they were like, "Oh my gosh," and even corporate, they came up to us multiple times and just said, "You ladies just have your stuff together. You carry yourself in a certain way. You are here for business." And I think that, it made me feel so proud to be on the team that we're on. But, Julie has really led by example. When she goes to Super Saturdays, she is bringing it. This is what we do. And so, I give all that credit to her. So just know that that corporate really does recognize that in us as a team of hers. And, she sets the bar high, and it's awesome to be part of that. So, so that was, one of the first things. The other thing that kept coming up over and over and over, which I know we usually do the Success Club roundup, but this is leading right into that, is the importance of Success Club. And on day one, we were talking about Success Club and that, and I walked out of that 2.5 hour meeting, not once. What's the word? The focus was not on sales. The focus was on helping other people. And I know that we talk about that a lot in our team. But, to hear that as, on the corporate level, that really, truly, they are not blowing smoke, if you know what I mean. They truly 100% are about helping other people. And the way that we measure that is through Success Club. And one of my favorite quotes came from Michelle Meyer, and she was talking about how we recruit. And she said, if we hook them with the money, meaning like, "Oh, you can make, this much money, or you can do this, or you can do that, or whatever. Even you can get your shakes for free, or hey, sign up to be a coach and, get your shakes for free." Yes, that's a benefit, but it's not just going to happen. You have to work for that. So she said, if you hook them on the money, but then it takes a while for the money, or it takes a while to get their shakes for free or to build a team or whatever, which it does. She says they'll leave. But if you hook them with passion and purpose, then they will stay. And that was like, because lately I feel like, in my mind, I'm like, I need to share more of the business opportunity with people so they know what's truly possible. And it is, there is a huge potential out there, but I think that we are right on track with how we have been sharing it with people, is that we are here to help people. And, people are going to spend their money on health and fitness. A lot of them will take their, $40 a month or whatever, or $100 a month down the road to a gym and never use it because they don't have a support system. And that truly is what makes us different as coaches, is that we are there to help them. people are at, running their race at a different rate. They're feeling badly about themselves, but we all know everything is connected. When you don't feel good about yourself because of the way that you look, then you get depressed and then you eat more. Well, then you eat more and you feel like crap. So you don't want to exercise, and then you don't exercise and then you feel like crap too. Now you're even more depressed. So, if we can truly continue our focus on helping people, because we have the tools. I mean, they have given us everything that we need to help people. I shared that link about Shakeology in the team consistency page today. And if you guys haven't taken time to listen to that, just plug in. I listened to it as I was getting ready in LA, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I know Rachel had several light bulb moments with it too. It really is a great education on sharing and understanding ourselves, even the value of Shakeology. She said, Shay said, there is no such thing as bad exercise or as bad fitness, right? I mean, if you move more, that's a good thing. If your heart rate gets up, that's a good thing. But there is such a thing as bad nutrition. And even if we're dieting, we are still nutrient, deplete. And she gave some excellent examples that I think so many people can relate to. Feeling sluggish, feeling like we're in a fog, being in a cranky mood, having cravings, all of those are signs of being nutrient deficient. So what Shakeology does for us is it actually gives our bodies everything that it needs on a cellular level. So if anybody has experienced a decrease in cravings on Shakeology, that is exactly why. And I knew that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not like craving sweets. I was like, this is cool. But I didn't understand why. But that's why, because we have filled our bodies from the cells with what we need. So definitely take a listen to that. Like I said, I listened to it while I was getting ready, so you can do that, or while you're driving to work, or while you are, doing dishes or folding laundry or, whatever. So there was that. The other thing that hit me like a ton of bricks is, on these calls, hopefully, each week there's some little nugget that we're like, oh my gosh, that's a good point, or, oh, I didn't think of that. And I think it was Bonnie Engel, Bonnie was where I was. So last year when she went to New Leader Conference, she was a 2-star premier diamond coach. So that's right where I am. This year she got on stage. She is a top 10, 15-star diamond coach. And not even a whole year, like 11 months. Like, that is crazy. And they shared their systems on exactly how they did it. And one thing that she said is, she hates the term aha moments. She said, aha moments don't mean anything unless you take action on them. So we really have to turn our aha moments into action moments. When something hits you, like maybe it's the call, take action on it. Take that knowledge that you have just learned and share it with somebody else. I know for me, kind of an aha moment has been the whole idea of a brain dump. But if I know that making a list is really going to help me stay focused and efficient, so I don't feel like that crazy woman running around all day, but I continue to not make a list, well, that knowledge is just up here in my head. So, Melanie Mitro said, do not be a collector of information. Put it into action. So we can listen to all this personal development. We can listen to the National Wake Up Call. We can be part of a Coach Basics group, but not implement it. And that's just, it's pointless. We might as well not even be in those groups or be doing those activities if we're not taking the time to implement it. So this business is very doable. It's not terribly complicated. We just have to be consistent and we have to be efficient. And Carl shared, we have to be, what did he say? We have to be relentless. We have to be relentless. And let me tell you what, if you have not heard Carl Deichler speak live, holy cow, that man will get you fired up like no other. I mean, he is for real. He does not want to hear that we can't help 2.5 billion people in the country. I mean, he truly has a vision that everybody will be a Beachbody coach. There are 400,000 Beachbody coaches right now, which is pretty impressive. And out of that, probably only a small number or a small percentage are actually working. But just think, if every single one of those 400,000 coaches helped one person, that's a whole lot of people, right? So our goal is to help 3 people a month. 3 people by educating them, by sharing, with them. And again, all of this that we do, it comes back to our journey. So if we are not doing the 3 vital behaviors, that is like an absolute must. Like, we have to be doing a workout, we have to be having our shake, and we have to be plugging into personal development. And P.S., there's going to be a 4th vital behavior, but they want to tell us what it was. So that should be coming soon. I have an idea of what it is. I think that the 4th vital behavior is going to be to achieve Success Club. That's just because they were talking about it over and over and over, because it really supports everything else that the company, talks about, is helping other people. And so that really is a great unit of measure to how can we help other people. So there was that. Let me see here. The other thing, and I won't go too deep into this, but if you guys haven't taken a look at the leadership ladder in your dashboard, that is really interesting because, and I think maybe we talked about it on our diamond call, but you can be a diamond, or you can even be a star diamond and kind of have a hollow business. But if you're wanting to build like a business, paying attention to that leadership ladder will give you key markers, so it will let you know how many personally sponsored coaches you need, to be hitting Success Club each month in order to advance and rank. And obviously when you're advancing, or rung, to advance and rung, not rank, on the ladder, and as you're advancing, you're really building a well-rounded business as opposed to just a body. We don't want just bodies for ranks. Like, we truly don't. I would much rather it take coaches longer to get wherever they want to go, but have a strong foundation. Something else that I think I personally struggle with that I'm working on, which was shared, was that we can't be afraid to tell people the kind of coaches that we're looking for, right? We want to attract people like ourselves. So we need to say that, right? Like, I'm looking for, you don't have to be like, now hiring, because quite frankly, I think those posts are kind of cheesy, but if it works for you, then that's, no judgment here. But, I think that we can say, when we have a coach sneak peek or whatever, hey, if you, want to, help other people, like, I would probably say, I'm looking for people who want to help other people. I'm looking for people who are motivated, right? I don't want to drag anybody through. So I want somebody who's somewhat self-motivated. I want somebody who isn't afraid to do some work. And I want somebody who people like. So, telling our audience, I think last week or a couple of weeks ago, we talked about, identifying our top 5, like, what is our brand? We'll speak to those people. If we're trying to like blanket everybody, then we're not really going to reach anyone, right? Like, if you were cooking and if you're like, oh, I don't really know what somebody's going to like, so I'm just going to make plain pasta. Do you think anybody would really like that? But if you're like, you know what, I'm going to make this amazing meal and it's going to be awesome, and some people are going to like it and some people aren't going to like it, and that's okay, then guess who's really going to stick around? The people who liked it, right? But if you serve plain pasta, nobody's coming back to your house for dinner. I'm sorry. Like, they're going to be like, that was the worst meal ever. So don't be afraid to add your own spice, run your own race, run your own business. I got so much information from Melanie, who's, 2-time top coach. But here's the thing. All of those things won't necessarily work for my business. I'm going to try a lot of them, but her business, her niche, her brand is a little bit different from mine. So don't be afraid, to play with to play with it a little bit, and really truly make it your own. The other thing Well, we can talk about that on another one. Hold on here. Let's see. That will be Casey and Rachel. Remind me to talk about on our next call about Michelle Meyer's call about team building. Let me see here. That's too much. I think that's probably the most of it. Right. You know, we talked about the compliance, which we've already gone over, you know, things like that. But Bonnie Engel, she gave this monthly list of to-dos. So what I've been putting together, like a daily to-do list, just general, and a weekly to-do list and a monthly to-do list. And so I'll share those with our team also, because I think it's good to see, you know, like on my monthly to-do list, it's sending, you know, thank you for your order emails to my customers. I mean, we really are the first line of defense. The other thing that they really talked a lot about is recognition for your team, recognition for your challengers. You know, I mean, I think everybody likes a pat on the back. It doesn't have to be, you know, a gift. It can be a shout out in the Facebook page. It can be a handwritten note. It can be a private message, you know, but just something to recognize somebody, to let them know, hey, you know what, I see what you're doing. I see, you know, you know, that you're trying different things. Actually, I will say I felt kind of proud because they heard that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did that this week when I saw Shantae's post, because it was so good. Like Shantae, that post, it caught my eye. It was something different that I hadn't seen from you. The tone of it, I don't know if you just like, if you thought about what you were typing or if you just like put it out there because that's just how you are. But whatever you did there, definitely do that again. It was very personal. Like I felt like it was a person. It wasn't a sales pitch, you know? Did you feel differently writing it? Or
I did. I actually, I struggle with sharing on Facebook because I am that private person. So even I created a business page so I can use that to share, but I find most people are on my personal page. Mm-hmm. So that moment when I got that Shakeology and I tasted it, it was just this emotion just came over me. And I literally didn't even think about what I was just typing. It was just an emotion and I just typed it up.
Yes.
And I didn't even realize the effect of it. Or, you know, usually I plan out what I'm going to say and, you know, make sure it looks okay. But I find that doesn't work.
Do you know what that's called? It's called overthinking it. Casey knows that well. We talk about that all the time. Don't overthink it. I do that too. Yeah. Here's something else that I would suggest. And I'm going back and forth. I'm trying to figure out the balance myself, but I can feel that change mentally in my post when I'm posting on my business page. It's like, oh, it's business time. So I need to be, nobody wants that. Right. So I've moved back over primarily to my personal page for a couple of reasons, but also because mentally I feel like I can just be myself over there. And that's really what people want. So you may want to play with that. You know, you can post, you know, a day or so, or, you know, once a day or, you know, whatever over on your business page, if you want. But maybe just play around with that, because I think you're exactly right. It was that, I mean, I felt a human connection in that post, and that is the key. And now that you have felt it, you can like be like, okay, like I get it. So, you know, I mean, just give people some props to let them go. No, you know, hey, you know, you're going in the right direction, whether they're challengers, coaches, you know, maybe even somebody on another team. It doesn't even really matter, you know, but we just want to make people feel good. So, there was that. So this was awesome. Bonnie said she answers objections publicly on her Facebook page. Not like, hey, we're going to battle, but the way that she does it, it's like, you know, for instance, you know, do you think Shakeology is too expensive? Well, so did I. And da, 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 da. Like, she just answers questions that she knows that people are wondering. You know, the one thing I will say I strongly dislike when I see on other coaches' pages is they'll be like, hey, you know, join me for my PIO challenge group or whatever it is. And then somebody will say, great, how much is it? And they say, I'll private message you. That's like a red flag to me if I'm like reading through, like, what are you hiding? Why are you private messaging? You know, so maybe I think the more transparent, you know, we can be, you know, the better. Not that we have to say, you know, it's $160 or, you know, whatever, because that may scare people off, but give something other than I'll private message you, you know. It's a great deal. It's on special right now. You get it for only $30 more than Shakeology alone. If you want more info, shoot me a note, you know, something like that. So I thought that was a great tip as well. When you do recognize your team, you know, with the Success Club, she said, you know, put yourself on that list, which I thought was great. I think so often, you know, like I haven't been putting myself on the Success Club roll call thing because I don't want to, it's not about me, but I can't be just sitting here, you know, saying, help people go make Success Club and not be doing anything. So I think it's important for, you know, my team to see, hey, you know, I'm working. I know how it feels when I see that, you know, Julie is at Success Club 11 or 12, you know, or whatever it is as well. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, even as a superstar diamond, she's still working. So those are the kind of the big, you know, the big takeaways. Really make Success Club a priority. Not only is it going to help your business, but it means that you're helping other people. And that is really why we all became a coach, because somebody reached out to each one of us. Somebody said, hey, you know, I see that you're struggling, or maybe they didn't see that. Maybe they just reached out and you're like, thank you, Jesus, for reaching out because I've been struggling. So, you know, hit Success Club, work with your team to hit Success Club. Or, you know, as we said, so and it's going to be a tough challenge for me to get into this, but it's going to be the Changing Lives Club. So even 1 point, you're in the Changing Lives Club, because every person matters. Every point matters, you know. We don't have to be hitting Success Club 20 every month. That's great, but that's not what the focus should be, you know. But if we can each help 3 people every month, that is like, I mean, I think I put it in the post. I mean, we have already helped 31 people this month. 31 people. That's like a person every day of the month. More than that. But you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of people. That is a lot of people that we are reaching out to and helping. And we should be proud of that. And we should never, ever, ever lose sight of that. Even if we, you know, only have, you know, 1 point or whatever, it's fine. Like that point is a life. So I'm going to open it up and see if there are, 9:30. Oh, okay. Yeah, we have about 5 minutes. So if anybody has any questions for me, either general questions or questions about, about New Leader Conference, or about Tony Horton's new workout that's coming out that we can do, I will go ahead and open it up so you guys can unmute yourself. No? Bueller. I did like Tony's workout. So 22 Hardcore is coming out in March, and it is it's boot camp stuff, I think. That's how I would kind of describe it. Like, we did 6 moves. Is that right? Yes. 3 rounds of 6 moves. So each move for like a minute or so. And the first time we would do, like, let's say they were, oh my gosh, I had so many flipping burpees that day. It was crazy. But let's say the first time we did 25 burpees. And then round 2, maybe we would do 18 burpees. And then round 3, we bumped back up to 25 burpees. And then for the next move, maybe we started at 25 and then we went to 20 and then we went to 18. And I'm just throwing these numbers out here because I'll tell you what, there was something that we did that I know we went to 40 and I'm like, what? And I think that we went up to like 45 or something. So it's kind of like interval interval boot camp training is how I would describe it. But it was a good workout, but it was also very doable. There was not a whole lot of jumping at all. It was body weight exercises, similar to Max 30, but I felt like it was maybe a little bit less intense, to be honest. I mean, there were some people that were totally dying, and I'm thinking, shoot, you haven't worked out with Shanti. But yeah, so that should be coming out in March. So that'll be a good one. Anything else? No? Any questions about who on the call has watched that Shakeology video? Yes. I know Rachel did. Yes. Okay. Everybody else, please. I mean, it will blow your mind. You will be like, oh my gosh, I'm so smart now. I'm so smart. I have so much information about Shakeology. But she tells, I mean, Rachel listened to it. She tells it in a very conversational way. I love Darren O'Lean, but he gets a little deep on the whole science part of it for me. It's hard for me to use that information to translate to customers. So, but Shay Stanford is awesome. So, all righty. Well, if nobody else has any questions, I appreciate you being on the call. I will. Oh, I do. I have one last thing. So homework is we're going to have another brain dump challenge for the week. So everybody this week, before you go to bed or first thing in the morning, it's up to you. Every day, jot down your brain dump. And remember, it doesn't have to just be Beachbody related. This is your life. So whatever you need to get done, do a brain dump the day or the night before or the morning, and post it in Team Consistency. So because I think we all know when we wake up with a plan, we are much more productive throughout the day. Like we'll be like, oh my gosh, I got like all my stuff done in 15 minutes because we were focused. So on that note, a tip from Melanie is to turn off your chat on Facebook. I know it's a little scary, but turn off your chat and also hide that sidebar part. I did that. It's kind of amazing. So you still get messages, but they go into your inbox. And so it's not a visual distraction. So if I don't get back to you, or if it looks like I'm not online, I may be online, but you don't know that I'm online if I'm being productive. So, all right. Well, that really, truly is it this time. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for being on the call. And I look forward to seeing your guys' brain dumps tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, Angie. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Thanks. You too, Pam. I'll see you on Saturday.